Africa is booming. One of the main reasons being the increased and sustained efforts being made to boost intra-African trade. Given the considerable opportunities offered by the development of African trade, there are also good reasons for boosting the trade and investment partnerships between Africa and the Caribbean. In this new edition of your program, DECRYPTAGE, we are with Rene Awambeng, Global Head Client Relations of African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank. Mr. Awambeng, welcome to Africa 24. Rene Awambeng, Global Head Client Relations at the African Import-Export Bank, Afreximbank, was awarded the Global Executive Leader Award at the Powerful Media's Powerlist Black Excellence Award 2024. What does this distinction represent for you at Afreximbank?
No, thank you very much. It is with great honor and gratitude that I received the Global Executive Leader Award last week in London from the Powerlist 2023. This award is for the influence, innovation, pragmatism that we bring to supporting trade, finance, and development work on the continent of Africa. I really dedicate this award to the Afreximbank team, who over the last 10 years have done a fantastic job in trying to promote, first of all, intra-African trade and bringing Africans to take responsibility of their own destiny together.
Since EcoBank and now with Afreximbank, you have demonstrated exceptional vision, innovation, and influence. The diaspora is considered as the sixth region of Africa. Your award is an inspiration for younger men and women to work hard for change. How do you see the African diaspora impact on African development?
So I am privileged and fortunate to be in the position where I am. I see myself as an economic freedom fighter for the African continent, the same way that heroes like Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba fought for the liberation of Africa from our colonial masters. We have the opportunity, we have the network, we have the relationships to be where we are. We have to use our influence, our position, our leverage to make a remarkable change for the progress and the future of our continent. I look at myself every day and I only see hard work. And this hard work should be an inspiration to the millions and millions of young men and women. Africa has the most vibrant population in terms of youth. Africans are entrepreneurial. Africans are good in sport. They're good in art. They're good in culture. It pains my heart to see Africans crossing the Mediterranean to go and look for opportunities when these opportunities can be in their own homelands. We need to create the right enabling environment in terms of governance, in terms of policy. We need to create the right infrastructure on the continent so that our people can take benefit. We have the largest base of raw materials and resources on the continent. That is why we are working in Afreximbank to enable the transformation of these commodities into primary goods and services that can be sold either in our own markets or exported to generate very scarce foreign currency. Why are we importing wheat and grain from smaller countries in Eastern Europe when we've got arable land, we've got water? We could turn these into plantations, we could turn this into farmland, commercial farmlands on the continent, employ our people and create employment and create wealth for them. So that is why we at Afreximbank are promoting industrialization and export development so that we can use this platform to support, facilitate, finance projects through industrial parks, through project finance, through special economic zones, through manufacturing plants, where Africans can feel the value of they themselves in their own home country. It's not a simple task because alone as an institution, we can't do this. We have to work with our partners. That's why we're working with the African Union to implement the African Continental Free Trade Agreement initiative. That's why we are working with other development partners to support the financing of transactions. And that's why we are implementing the bridge between Africa and the Caribbean, working on our diaspora strategy to actually start to promote relationships between Africans and the Caribbeans. You can see this second African Trade, the Active Conference, the second one being held here, the first one was held in Barbados. It's bringing together people from 13 Caribbean countries and 54 African countries together in Guyana, Georgetown. It's a huge opportunity for trade, for businesses. I've been speaking to people who are in oil and gas. I've been speaking to people who are in energy. I've been speaking to people who are in the creatives. I've been speaking to people who are in sport. I've been speaking to people who are in hospitality, to be able to bring them together and see how we can create the dynamism of supporting and financing them. And that's why we're inviting them to Cairo between the 9th to the 15th to take part in the intra-African trade fair, which has become the global marketplace for Africans to meet and discuss business opportunities in the continent. As you say, it is not an easy task. What challenges do you encounter in implementing trade mechanisms? There are several challenges, but you have to be resilient, you have to be hardworking, you have to have the values which encompass all Africans, which I believe is all rooted around hard work and the belief that everything is possible. The belief that every challenge is not insurmountable. The belief that we can work together as a team, we can work together as countries, we can work together as businesses, we can work together as private sector and public sector to be able to achieve our objectives. What we notice is that between Africa and the Caribbean, the exchanges are very slim. What does Afreximbank do to improve trade between the two parties? The volumes of trade between the Caribbean and Africa today are still very frugal and very the estimates of the volume of trade today are quite low. Now, the initiative that we are trying to promote by exchanging Africans to come here and Caribbeans to go will promote, first of all, tourism. And the tourist industry is a huge industry. Africans can visit the islands of the Caribbean. The Caribbeans can also visit African countries, which is their heritage and their homeland. You can see what Ghana has done with the homecoming program. Millions of black heritage people are visiting Ghana every year to celebrate the culture. That creates trade in terms of tourism, that creates trade in terms of hospitality, that creates trade in terms of air transport. So this is just one avenue. Another avenue we believe where we can grow the trade between Africa and the Caribbean is again by using the Caribbean as a platform for manufacturing, processing of African commodities that can be exported either to large markets in North America or South America, benefiting from specific trade arrangements that exist between the two continents. So this is a platform. It's a platform for shipping to connect the different continents of the world. It's a platform for air travel to connect the different continents of the world. And also they also endowed with their own natural resources like sugarcane, like rum, which can also be exported to parts of Africa, processed and exported to part of Africa. Mr. Awambeng, you have a great experience in banking sector and developing businesses and commercial relations. How does Afreximbank manage to increase its customer base and relations between its different offices? No, thank you. What we've done in Afreximbank over the last 10 years is to build a very client-centric model where the client is at the heart of the business. And our clients are major stakeholders like sovereigns, state-owned enterprises, financial institutions or large corporates. So the way we interact with them is by looking at their extensive needs, whether they are financial institutions, whether they are governments, looking at them closely and trying to provide solutions. As you can see here today in Guyana, we've just signed a facility with the government for $500 million to be able to support with building a green power project. At the same time, we are supporting local financial institutions with $5 million or $10 million. So you see the bank is harnessing both the public sector and the private sector, looking at how to provide solutions in terms of trade enabling infrastructure, and supporting also facilitation twinning. You would see that here today we brought different groups, financial groups from Africa, who are setting to set up partnerships, trying to set up institutions in the Caribbean to take advantage of this opportunity. We brought business people who we are twinning them together with business people from the Caribbean, and the bank will provide its financing solutions, be they credit solutions, advisory solutions, or guarantee solutions to enable those trades to happen. How long does it take to successfully implement trade reforms? Yeah, everything takes time. It's a journey. It's not a race. The journey has started. The train has left the station, but we are on board that train. We believe that slowly we're going to build the right relationships, and it's going to be a win-win business for the Caribbean countries and for the African brothers and sisters. Together, we need to take our destiny into our hands. We need to build our continent. We need to build our diaspora together as one. Thank you very much, Mr. Awambeng, for answering Africa 24's questions. Please stay tuned to our programs.